Now we're talking about simplicity, and what many of you might be saying is, I don't know where to start, Ellen. I have no idea how to simplify my life. Well, I'm going to give you a manifesto on it. I'm going to give you 72 ideas on how to simplify your life. If you leave here today and you embrace one of those ideas and it changes you in some way, hallelujah. Because so often we take the chaos over the peace. If someone says to my husband, what do you want out of life? He usually says, just peace. Don't you want some peace? Peace and quiet. We don't say, you know what I really want is a Mercedes convertible. That's nice, but I really don't want one. So here's the short list. Identify what's important to you and eliminate everything else. Those angels are not important to me. Guess what, everyone? I'm getting rid of them. I'm getting rid of the curio cabinet and the china cabinet, and I'm going to put a big old table in there to play games on. Because guess what? I like playing games with my family and friends. That's fun to me. I'm not going to keep the china, or maybe I'll give it away. They might want the china. Who knows what the kids want. But identify what's important to you and eliminate everything else. But here's the long list. What is your top 4 or 5 important things in life? God, our family. Is the curio cabinet on the top 5 at all? No. But you know what is on there? Our health. If our health is one of the top 5 priorities of our life, and we're not making it a priority, then we have to really take a really good look at all those things that we're involved in that we don't have time to take care of ourselves. We need to evaluate your commitments. I might not look like the kind of person who says no, and I don't say no a lot, but what I have done is I've pared down some of my commitments since Pray It Off. I go to work, I take care of my family, I do Pray It Off. I can't be on this committee. People would say to me, you'd be great heading up this committee. And I go, thank you for that vote of confidence, and I'd like to think I would do a good job, but I'm just stretched a little too thin right now. Figuratively as well as literally. No, only kidding. I'm not stretched too thin figuratively. I'm just seeing if you're paying attention. All right. Simplify your work tasks. So often we make jobs so much bigger than they have to be. Sometimes it's okay to company clean your house. And everyone knows what that means. There's a difference. Somebody spring cleaned last week and lost 3 pounds. It works. It works. Learn to say no. Limit your communications. I gave up gaming for Lent, playing song pop and words with friends, and guess what? I still don't do it because it took up so much of my time. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if someone requested I do, words with friends? I just don't do it anymore. It was just too much for me. Limit your media consumption. I talked about this last week. There are things that happen in this world. We can care about it. We can pray about it. But if we're glued to the TV, if we're switching from Fox to CNN like grief junkies trying to watch everything, it's okay to be on top of it. But don't be so consumed with it that you're not taking care of your health. Purge your stuff. Hey, so many people donated stuff last week. I wish you could see how happy you made people who have so little. Edit your rooms, 1 room at a time, sweet Jesus. So often we do nothing because the job is so big. Remember I told you about my bins? How about 1 bin at a time? You think I'm going to do 58 bins in one day? 1 bin at a time, sweet Jesus. Anyone can do 1 bin at a time. But here's what you have to do. Do I want to save my kids' pacifiers? Is anyone going to reuse that pacifier? I don't think so. Even if I boil the heck out of it, no one wants a 1981 pacifier. I can hold it up and go, oh, I kept Shannon's pacifier. She's 32. Isn't this great? I can even take a picture if I have trouble. All right, I'll take a picture. That way, if 50 years from now, when I'm 100 and whatever, I can go, there's the pacifier. But right now, I don't need it. I don't need it. You know what? This is for me. This meeting's for me more than you, in case you didn't get that. This is for me. All right. Get rid of it. Free up your time and do what you love. Last weekend, we drove to Brockport. We met up with some friends we hadn't seen in a while. We went to a play. We spent the night. It was awesome. We drove back from Brockport. We talked in the car, family time. We don't always do those little day trips. It's a fun thing to do. Spend time with people you love. Spend time alone. There's nothing. My favorite time to be alone is when there's other people in the house and I'm alone in another room. I'm thinking, they're here, but I'm alone. I'm reading. Isn't this awesome? And this is a good one. Eat slowly. I eat so slowly now that I'm always the last one eating. We go to a restaurant and people are done and I'm still eating slowly. It's helped me a great deal. Drive slowly. Now my husband calls me Mario, but I think that's a misnomer. I'm really not Mario.
Unless you're trying to follow you.
Unless you're trying to follow me. But I have no road rage whatsoever. Now here's something I need to do. Simple mail and paperwork system. Here's what Ellen normally does. Oh, I got this. I might want to read it later. I'll put it over here. Oh, ooh, that's interesting. I'll put it over there. Oh, I might want to, oh yeah, I don't have time to read the newspaper. I'm going to put it right there. Next thing you know, there's a table and it's like this. So what it is you handle, this is revolutionary, follow me closely. You handle everything once. You read it, recycle it. You get a bill, you pay it. You might say, Ellen, I don't have the money. Put it in a little bill folder, mark it on your calendar, pay it. Get rid of it. Now, again, I'm saying this for me as well as for you. Also, keep emails. I get probably 40 emails a day. And I feel like I got to answer them all. Like you say, Ellen, I can't come because my uncle's sister's friend is here from out of town. And I feel like I got to answer it back and go, oh, thanks for the heads up, or see you next week. If I don't do that, it's because I'm simplifying my life. Thanks for letting me know. And then I have people who are very, very persistent. Did you get another email? Did you get my email? The one about my uncle's sister's brother's wife coming and visiting because you didn't answer it. And then they'll call me. Did you get my email? Can you call me? Can you call me and let me know that you... So all these like little communication, all of a sudden I go, I can call them? I got to call them to let them know that I got my email? It would have been just as easy to say, got it. So... if you don't hear from me, I'm simplifying my life. Also, I mean, this is good. Consider a smaller home. And you might say, are you crazy? There's many people in this group that have gone from a big house to a little house when those kids are older. When Bob and I moved into our house, I turned to him and I said, they're going to carry me out of this place feet first because I'm never moving again. And now, I mean, we had one time 4 kids, the 2 of us. Now it's like Vince is going to college in September. And we have a 5-bedroom house with tons of bathrooms and the curio cabinet and the 58 bins. We have a lot of stuff. But we're beginning to start to have that discussion. Consider a smaller car. Guess what? We both got a smaller car. And it is awesome. Bob,
Love it.
You went from what, 11 miles a gallon to 40 miles a gallon. Yeah, Subaru. All right. Learn what enough is. More food, more stuff. You go to a restaurant and they give you a human being portion and you're saying to the waiter, what is this? You know, I want the kind of platter that's like, No restaurant gives you human being portions. They give you American portions, you know. Have a simple weekly dinner menu. We do that. It really helps. Eat healthy. Being unhealthy is complicated. Eating healthy simplifies all of that greatly over the long term. Somebody went to their doctor. They were down so much weight. The doctor's like, are you kidding me? Their life is better now. Not on as many medications. You don't have to remember to take as many. You're moving more. You're doing more. Being healthy makes your life simpler. All right, declutter before organizing. If I'm going to organize my curio cabinet, I have to decide which of my 500 angels do I want to keep. Here's another novel idea. Keep one. to symbolize the collection I once had. It's an idea. But the best thing to do is declutter, then organize everything. You go into a room, you get rid of everything, then you clean it and organize it. Think about that. Also, try living without a car. We live in Syracuse. I mean, I grew up in Elmira Heights, New York. We walked everywhere. We walked to high school. We didn't take a bus. Walked to high school, walked to the store, walked here. It's harder here. You could maybe live with one car, but that's hard too. So think about that. Find a creative outlet for your self-expression. It's been years since I found a creative outlet because I've been too busy. Tonight, somebody came in, they handed me a funeral bulletin that someone just had a funeral for their mother. And in there was a poem that I wrote about a mother's love. I can't tell you how that made me feel to see something I wrote that meant enough to them to put it in their mother's funeral thing. And that's what is that make me feel better than 20 beers? It does. That kind of creative self-expression. Do you paint? Do you write poetry? Do you, even when you cook, you know, Joe was telling us about making that antipasti on the stick. That's creative. And he's got the fat-free or the lower fat kind too. I'm going to stop there, Bob, because I'm going to whip through the final